All right, Broussard, tell us the things. Who in the world of sports is under duress this week?
Well, Jen, at number 5, it's a quarterback, but it's not that one. It's not Patrick Mahomes. It is Kyler Murray. What is going on? Murray's supposed to be basking in the achievement of his second Pro Bowl, leading the Cardinals to the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. Instead, he is embroiled in a mess. We've had reports of the people in the organization saying he's selfish, he's not a leader. His agent makes this strange public contract demand in a strange letter that he puts out there on social media. And now there are reports that Kyler Murray not only wants a contract extension before next season, he wants it before the April draft. Okay? He wants to be have new extension before the draft, which obviously is not far away. And there are even reports that a trade demand by Murray is not off the table. That could happen. So this is getting ugly. And remember, the Cardinals got him locked up for the next 2 years, plus they could franchise him for 3 years after that. So I don't think Kyler has the leverage that he thinks he does. He's under duress. At number 4, we just talked about him, Carson Wentz. This is it, Carson. Your last chance to solidify yourself as a starter in this league. If you don't get it done in Washington, you will be a backup the rest of your career. He's under duress. At number 3, we're going into the front office and the coaching booth. Pete Carroll and GM John Schneider up in Seattle. I told you guys, it is never good to trade a future Hall of Fame quarterback who is still smack dab in the middle of his prime. You got 3 pretty good players. You got 5 so pretty good draft picks. What are you going to do with them? That's the key. Because they don't have a plan. Be like, now there are reports they could go after Deshaun Watson. Okay, if you get Deshaun Watson, cool. You did the right thing. All right, but there are obviously tons of questions about that. All right, Drew Lock can't be your answer. And John Schneider's drafting over the last 5 years or so, it's been okay. So I'm not convinced that them rebuilding with a coach that'll be 71 years old in September, with a GM whose track record lately in the draft has been mediocre, is the right thing to do when you could have kept Russ, been in the playoff hunt the next 5 or 6 years or so, and maybe even more than the playoff hunt. Maybe the Super Bowl hunt. All right, at number 2, we're going to the NBA. Russell Westbrook. Now, this obviously is the year from hell for Westbrook, right? But now his wife, unfortunately, and their son are now involved in this. And on a human level, as Westbrook came out and pleaded for sympathy, right? Don't call me Westbrook. Call me Westbrook. I'm proud of my name. I get it on a human level. But when you're in a public job, whether athlete, politician, entertainer, broadcaster, whatever, this comes with the territory. You might get mocked, you might get ridiculed, and Westbrook has to accept that. And now he may go into any road arena he goes into. The fans may pick up on that and start serenading him with Westbrook chants. Maybe not just this season, but the rest of his career. At number 1, of course, Ben Simmons. Guys, I've covered the NBA for 26 years. Never can I remember there being so much anticipation about a return of a player to a city he played in when he's not even playing. Right? He's not even gonna play, but just being on the bench in street clothes will be huge. And look, there's a part of me that still thinks he's not gonna be on that bench in street clothes. That he might not show up, that he won't travel, that he might be in the locker room, but he has got to be on that bench. You gotta sit there, Ben, and take it. This is motivation. Remember, the Bud List is about motivation. You gotta sit there, take the best that the Philly fans can give you. Because if he doesn't show up, his teammates might not say it publicly, Wild, but they're gonna be questioning his heart, his toughness. Can this guy be in the foxholes with us going forward if he couldn't even go out there and sit on the bench? I think it'll be a big step. I think it'll be a big step for him mentally if he goes there and he can handle it, I think he'll cross a mental hurdle, and it could be a good sign for him in the Nets, Wilds, if he doesn't.
I agree. I want to go a step further if I'm Ben. Like, if you're going to sit there and people are booing at you, it feels passive. Just get up, like, bring it on. Just be sort of like the WWE villain. Yeah, more. Oh, what was that, everybody?
Have fun with
Just
it.
really embrace it, and I think that would fire up the Nets.
I like that.
All right, I'm going to take this to a personal level. And I have to remind the audience, the Bud List is not an indictment. It's an inspiration. It's an inspiration to do better at whatever job you're in, whether you're a player, whether you're a coach, or whether you're on First Things First. So I'm going to add Nick Wright to this list, Broussard, because we are a team here. And although we may debate, you want the debate to have some force. You want there to be a good conversation. You don't want to see one of your teammates just getting mollywopped with bad takes. And between Joker is not an MVP deserving candidate, and Jason Tatum does not deserve bottle service at the Superstar Club, we are in a bad spot, Nick, with these takes. You gave up on the Lakers in the first segment of the show. I would implore you to keep it going. Say that Jokic, or say that Joker belongs in the MVP conversation, and say that Tatum, you open up the velvet rope to club superstar and let Jason Tatum waltz in. And you know what? He's bringing somebody too. That's how VIP is. He's bringing his friend. He's bringing Marcus Smart to the Superstar Club. So there you go. I'm putting Nick Wright on the list. Nick, it's an inspiration, my friend. It's an inspiration, not an indictment.
I was going to put Russell Wilson on the list, but now let's just deal with this. We can talk about Russell Wilson later. Okay. First, I do get mollywopped with bad takes quite often. They're delivered from that side of the screen for the better part of 2 hours, and I have to deflect them. So yeah, I do understand what it feels like to be mollywopped with bad takes. I did not say Jokic can't be an MVP candidate. What I said was that right now, this moment, I think there are 3 people clearly more deserving. I think that Giannis is more deserving, Embiid is more deserving, and Luke is more deserving. I also said that if he were to win it, it will be looked upon the way Nash winning his back-to-back MVPs was. Once we have the perspective of history, we're going to say, well, that was incredibly dumb. We shouldn't have done that. He does not belong in that club. Speaking of clubs, now to Tatum. You know the rule for Club Superstar. It's 1 in, 1 out with a 12-person maximum. So unless you are ready to kick out multiple guys, we'll kick out one guy and let Tatum jump the line over your beloved, for example, Donovan Mitchell, who's not in the club yet, but waiting in line ahead of Jason Tatum. Are you ready to have him jump your beloved Devin Booker, who's not in the club yet, but waiting in line ahead of Jason Tatum? And then are you also ready to officially kick out your beloved Damian Lillard? Because Dame's in there, but Dame would be the first man out. Dame's the first man out at the moment of Club Superstar. So if you want to do that, you go right ahead. But you don't have the courage to do that. You don't have the strength of your convictions. You don't actually believe it. You just want to attack me on a day. Today's not a great day for me. LeBron passed up a good look. The Lakers are done. I'm dealing. I got a whole city of Denver. Mark Schlereth calls me after his appearance yesterday on the show and is like, "Hey, Nick." I'm like, "What's up, Stink?" He's like, "God, everyone here hates you." I'm like, "Yeah, man, I know." And that was before the Russell Wilson stuff. Now I'm getting it from my own terrible teammates. So what's up, Wilds?
No.
Some of them.
The Celtics? Jason Tatum has carried the Celtics
to
a 15-2 record over the last 17 games. He's all of a sudden in the MVP conversation. I think your door policy is too tight. He deserves the Goodfellas, Ray Liotta treatment. Comes in through the back door, and everyone's like, oh, man, Jason Tatum's here. Bring a table, da-da-da. He can come through the back door into Club Superstar. Boom, table right in the front, listening to Frankie Valli or somebody. Bring him in the back. Deserves a spot.
Frankie Valli.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
That's what Goodfellas.
Wilds. You make a habit. You make a habit of breaking the Bud List rules. You know, you throw on people that aren't eligible, mascots, all that stuff. But in this case, I'm good with it. I'm glad you broke the rules. It's that because you know what? I've never considered Nick or you or Jenna for the Bud List. But this is a good call. Nick Wright is absolutely on the Bud List. The way he started the show, dissing LeBron and the Lakers. And you're right. Jokic and Jason Tatum, look, he's been killing them all year. They don't deserve it. I have the NBA Superstar Handbook here. I called it up on my phone. First of all, there's no mention of Nick Wright whatsoever, okay? And secondly, there is definitely no mention that the superstar limit is 12. I told you, it is not limited to 12, and now it's official. So you don't have to take somebody out to put Jason Tatum in. He's not right there.
So unfair.
He's knocking on the door. He's driving up the block.
You don't even think he's in there.
He's driving on the block. I told you.
Here's what's unfair.
He's one of the young boys that's coming. He's one of the young boys that's coming to the club.
On and on in this segment. We don't even have time for medals. And Tatum and Jokic were going to get medals. But now I can't even give them their medals because you guys spent time talking about how I don't like them. Square that circle,
well, Nick,
you doofuses. Medals, no time
sorry,
for
Nick.
it. Instead,
move on.
I was supposed we got no time. We don't have
supposed to keep the handbook.
No, Broussard. Go. You just cut medals. You're just reading fake handbooks.
I misspoke. The handbook's supposed to be off the record because it only goes to official MVP voters. My bad. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, my God, Jenna.
Touche. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.